Oh, that one. Red light, red light.
Hey guys, welcome back to the program. Missy Skinner, what a great co-host.
Thank you,
Filling in
Mike.
for Tammy Edwards, who's not with us, unfortunately. My name is Mike Bjorkman, and this is SCV Today. How's that for coming back? We have a very special guest. Good friend of mine, Deanna Miller. She is one of the co-founders of Stark Social.
Yep.
For those of you that do not know what Stark Social is, it is a company that they manage a lot of our social media. When you own several companies, it's impossible to do the correct marketing without help. So I've known Deanna for years. She's helped build my businesses. But one of the things I really appreciate about her is how she's willing to help the community as well. So
Absolutely.
when you're not building websites, when you're not managing social media for clients all across the country and nonprofits as well,
Right.
I know you're working hard to protect the kids. I know you just finished a presentation
Right.
for a mom's group to help us understand. Now, I have a 13-year-old boy and an 18-year-old boy.
Right.
With the 18-year-old, I've been through the beginning and the really bad part, and now the recovery of social media and teenagers. My 13-year-old yesterday said, "Mom, look what this girl is sending me in the car." And I'm like, oh, this is so perfect. I just talked to Deanna about how to protect our kids from this.
Absolutely. No, I think the thing is there's so much out there that as parents, my son's 9, and he's getting to the point where his friends have iPhones and iPads and they're carrying around laptop computers, and it's overwhelming. And when I was approached recently by a mom's group to help them put together a presentation for their parents, it's overwhelming the amount of things that are out there. And one of the resources that I found that was extremely helpful for me was the Family Online Institute. They have an amazing amount of resources. They have so much content and information that you can read about how to better protect your kids and what you should be doing. And honestly, it's really starting with that conversation. You need to open up an open dialogue with your kids about, you know, this is a privilege, it's not a right. You don't get to just have an iPhone or an Android device just because you exist. So that's one of the things that I've made sure in all of my presentations and talking to my son is that when you get these devices, anything that comes along with it, it's all a privilege. I can take it away whenever I want to if you're not using it properly. So it's really, you have to start with creating a conversation. I think, Mike, you do a really good job of that with your kids. And it's hard when you're starting out and there was no social media. My first phone was a flip phone that was like pay as you go, and I was leaving.
You really get a beeper, a pager, and then a pay as
exactly,
you go. That's
exactly.
what I had.
The pay as you go, and my mom was like, "You're going to college. Take that with you."
And with my mom, I had a pager, and if you had like 10 minutes to call back, and if you didn't, you were in big. I lost my keys.
Then all of a sudden, the pager's blowing up, and mom's standing outside like.
Mom, I was on my way home and there's no cell reception.
I use that all the time.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can already picture that. So exactly. So what I have done with my children is I say your phone may have a password on it, but I get to make up the password. And what I do is and I've tried all the apps. I've tried the nanny app. I've tried putting all different kinds of software on their computers. And these little buggers are smarter than anybody else. And like I had a full nanny cam, the nanny watch browser. That was terrible. So, jeez, Mike. But
Where's the Bloody Marys?
We were drinking before, I promise.
anyway, so they get around it. So now I just say, look, you know it's inappropriate, and you know that you can come to us with anything.
Right.
We have the talks with them about. You know, when somebody asks you weird questions that make you feel funny inside. I mean, they're older now. I don't have to say those things. I say, if somebody's a dirtbag, let me see it. But growing up, both of them, I had to have those talks with them. And there were times, whether it would be video games, but now it's like the Snapchats. And there's other Snapchatty apps that they actually encourage themselves not to tell the parents about, so they don't get them taken away.
Right. Well, you've got Snapchat, you've got Periscope, you've got Instagram, you've got Facebook, you've got Twitter, and there's all kinds of apps that come out on a regular basis. And one of the things that I encourage parents to do is keep an eye on what's downloaded on your kid's phone. There are a lot of different apps and tools that you can download on a phone for security purposes. But like you said, kids are smart, and if they want to get around it, they will get around it. So I definitely recommend, one of the things that I learned when I was researching was having that weekly sit-down time and talking about what is okay and what isn't okay. One of the recommendations was to create a contract between you and your kids, and creating a contract where if they break the contract, they lose the phone or the device for a certain period of time. So then they understand this is business. And then following up on that, if they're posting pictures that are inappropriate to Instagram, or they're texting girls inappropriate pictures or what have you, then you've broken the contract. So the phone goes in my room, you don't get to touch it. A lot of times, the questions that I got, and the last thing that I did was, well, how am I supposed to keep track of my kids? It's really hard if that's the thing that you use to keep track of your kids. But then that's where other resources come in, like other parents and teachers. You really need to make sure that you're keeping an open line of communication with those people. The more that you talk to the people who are important in your kids' lives, coaches, teachers, other parents that you're friends with, that you maybe have a carpool with, those are your resources, those are your backup plan. Those are the people that are going to help you maintain that safety and security. And if you have more than one parent that's on board with your kids as far as the friendships are concerned, that means a lot when it comes to, well, you know, Billy lost his phone. Oh, well, so did Susie. Okay, well, so you guys get to hang out and, you know, babysit your kids after school. Babysit your friends' kids. So those are the kinds of things that I think, you know, they're, what was it? There's nannynet.org. There's a bunch of different online tools that you can use.
Yeah, there's 10 apps that I found, and that was a couple of years ago. I can only imagine there's probably 200 now.
Oh, I literally did a search this morning just to see how many there were in the Apple Store, and pages and pages and pages and pages.
Yeah, I found the best thing to do is just be open and honest. You know the password to that app, you know the password to their phone, and you check it. You know, my wife takes our youngest son's phone in the room, and like the other weekend, for an hour, she's sitting there going through his text messages. And I'm just like,
Max.
Yeah. And Max, I mean, she's learning a lot, but she doesn't, you know, but she doesn't, what I like about her is that she won't like find one little thing and freak out, because she doesn't want him to start deleting and using apps and hiding apps. So we just have that open line of communication. And then every once in a while, you know, I'll see him fly across the room and I go, oh, something was on Snapchat or something, you know, and then she'll delete the apps. And it's just one of those things. I guess I would say it's just the best thing is communication with your kids, and test out those tools that are there to help protect them. And
I definitely think you test out the tools and see if there's one that works for you and your family. If you have younger kids, definitely look at the tools, because as they get older, high school age and so forth, they're going to get much more aware of how to cheat the apps. But I definitely think starting with a contract, open dialogue and communication, sitting down with the phone and maybe having the child or the teenager be nearby so that they understand that this isn't about me limiting what you can do. This is about me knowing what you're doing and knowing who the people are in your life. I did have a woman who came up and talked to me recently who said that she and her kids did this on a regular basis. They went to Instagram, she unfollowed people, and then she found out that the issue was on the laptop.
Yeah, oh yeah,
so
totally.
It wasn't the
or
phone.
the iPod from 2 years ago that you forgot about.
Everything was mom friendly until she went to the laptop because she had to borrow it for something. And that's where all of the stuff was.
Other admin logins, it's really hard, so.
Right. So it's really, start that open dialogue, make sure your kids know that you trust them and vice versa. And we have to...
They're done.
All right, well, thank you so much for coming on the program. That means a lot.
It's fun.
If anything else, we get to make the parents say, ooh, maybe I better learn these apps too.
Yeah, definitely.
And you'd be surprised how many of your own friends are on those apps too. Missy's on Snapchat, Deanna's on Snapchat.
I'm too old for Snapchat.
I know.
Seriously, guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much for co-hosting today. I hope you had a good time.
I did.
Thank you for coming on, and thank you for
It
taking
was
care
fun.
of our social media world, Stark Social, ladies and gentlemen. Tune in next Wednesday. Tammy will be back, and we can have our normal show back. We'll see you then. Take care.